Tēnā koutou katoa, ko ora Rachel Tatham tōku ingoa. Welcome to this presentation of managing demand within an allocated budget and gathering ideas for solutions with the Disability Support Services Hearing Aid Services. This financial year, starting from the 1st of July 2024, we continue with a demand-managed approach with allocated budgets from the Ministry of Social Development, and this includes hearing aid services. This financial year, Disability Support Services Hearing Aid budget, which is a phased budget, is overspent by $123,000 as of February 2025, and this trend is expected to continue. Enable New Zealand is monitoring this situation and discussing very closely with Disability Support Services. This presentation aims to inform you on the challenges within the hearing aid services based on current data and insights. Subsidies take up a high proportion of the Disability Support Services budget. This is showing the change in the proportion of budget comparing July to December 2023 to the same period in 2024. We are seeing a significant growth in the subsidy expenditure. Compared to this time last year, end of February, the subsidy spend is up by $2 million. This is a 12% increase from this time last year. The budget is a single pot of money, so this subsidy growth impacts on available funds for hearing aids and repairs in ear molds. Average numbers of subsidies per month from July 2015 to December 2024 have grown significantly in the last few years. This graph shows these increases. This growth, we believe, is due to various reasons, including growing population, aging population, more options on the market for people, and increased customer choices. This graph shows the ethnicity breakdown based on requests we received. According to the 2023 census, Aotearoa's population is 17.8% Māori, 17% Asian, 9% Pacifica, and 68% identify as European. New Zealand European are the main users of the subsidy, and there appears to be minimal access from other ethnicities. When we look at the age groups of subsidy requests, they are growing in all age groups, although there appears to be a slight drop in the over 85 age group. The majority of the subsidy spend is in the over 65 age group, and this accounts for 78% of all subsidy requests between July 2024 and December 2024. Some of the key observations that we've noted in the area of subsidies over the last few years. We are seeing a year-on-year increase in subsidies. We are seeing new branches claiming subsidies, and this has actually increased the spending in this area. The customers are predominantly over 65 and identify as New Zealand European. This has remained stable for a long time. While we're seeing the subsidy is experiencing a significant growth, the funding scheme is also expanding. However, it is not to the same extent as the subsidy program. Year to date, spend from July 2024 to December 2024, including both funding and repairs, is very similar to this time last year. The expenditure in the funding stream has fluctuated over the years. There's various reasons for this, including invoice submissions, drops and increases in hearing aid prices, and the impact of COVID-19. Despite these monthly fluctuations, overall the expenditure has shown a reasonably stable while slightly increasing trend. When we look at who's accessing the hearing aid funding, it is a slightly different picture from the hearing aid subsidies. In the first 6 months of the financial year, 22% of the claims were people who identified as Māori and received full funding. This indicates there's a higher need related to hearing loss in the Māori population. While this has dropped by 2% from the prior year, there has maybe been more Māori in the not stated category, which has increased by 2%. Overall, this is higher than the population estimate of Māori at 17.8%. Māori children are the highest recipients of the hearing aid funding in the aged 0 to 15 age group. This decreases in the 16 to 64 age group and drops off significantly in the 65 plus age group. The funding criteria impacts this, as children can easily get access to funding if they have a hearing loss before 16 or are in education until 21 years old. We have broken down the criteria for funding requests. Adults with a community services card and children shared 76% of the expenditure in the Disability Services Funding Scheme. Adults with complex needs account for 24% of the expenditure. Admittedly, this looks a bit messy, but what this is showing is the expenditure in community service card criterion over the last 8.5 years. There has been an increase in numbers in spending, in particular for people caring for a dependent person who meet the disability services criteria. Comparing last year to date and this year to date, there has been a growth of caring for dependent people, seeking employment and voluntary work. This increase is likely due to the current work climate with higher unemployment and businesses reducing staff across the sector. There is a downward trend in the average price point for adults. The opposite is occurring for the children's hearing aids. Enable New Zealand continues to decline requests that do not meet the Disability Support Services hearing aid services criteria. This graph shows declines and part declines since 2020. The main part declines tend to be for non-essential accessories such as TV streamers. We are seeing an increase in community services card requests, especially in caring for the dependent person, people in work, or people seeking work. Children requests seem to be slightly decreasing, and more Māori are accessing this funding stream than they do in the subsidy scheme. As mentioned earlier, we're currently over the estimated budget for the year to date and are heading towards an overspend at the end of the financial year. We must manage within the allocated amount to avoid exceeding the budget. To distribute the available funds as widely as possible and prevent a pause in requests until the new financial year, we are considering a range of options. These include waitlist hearing aid funding requests based on the highest need first. We could prioritise children with adults waiting for the services. Alternatively, we could release funding within a daily limit to stay within budget. Or we could continue until the budget is spent and then stop all processing until the new financial year. Another option is we look at reducing the average price target. We hope to avoid these measures with your help. To manage within the allocated funding, we need your help. What you could do as a clinician is consider cost-effective solutions for your funded clients. The Disability Support Hearing Aid list includes advanced and some premium level hearing aids priced at or near the average price point. So there's no need to compromise on technological features. You could consider trialing lower cost advanced level aids from the list even if they're from brands that you or your client are not familiar with. If hearing aids are meeting the needs of the person, could you please consider longer replacement periods than the specified 6 years for adults and 3 within 6 years for children? Please ensure you're aligning with the Section 88 notice. We encourage you to continue to review your practices and explore innovative ways to maintain and improve hearing care within our allocated budget. And finally, we welcome your ideas on managing the current situation. Please feel free to contact me at the provided email address on your screen. Thank you for your time. We hope to work together to meet the people's needs within the budget framework this year. Ngā mihi nui.